What's good, gamers and ballers? Again, we are back here on Shots Fired, and woo! The World Cup is finally to the Final Four. You already know what they were doing. These countries were trying to break in the door, make a name for themselves, and I'm so proud of some of these countries that literally have never been to this stage and are showing out. But hey, what's going on? Hope everybody's having a great time. You know it's Shots Fired. This is season 2, episode 28. We have made it, baby. We're almost at episode 30. I'm so happy. Thank you. So many people are coming in. Hey, what's going on, my people there on TikTok? I see Sika Nova. What's going on? Erodos, how you doing? Salutes, how you doing? Yo. You already know. You guys are part of the show. It's your man, Vince Chang, aka The Energy. We got our people on Twitch. Let me know where you're watching from, which country you're rooting for, because I'm telling you, I thought Lithuania was going to do some problems, but Serbia had the best of them. No, man. There's some other places that I want to go. Italy was so crazy. But, man, America's still there. And, Canada against Slovenia. As soon as Doncic went out, I thought they were done. But they rallied back, but they couldn't close it out. But you know what? We're still here. What's good, my people? On YouTube, on the FIBA page. What's up? How you doing? Let me know you're watching from. And I see my people. There we go. Can I say, I don't know what that means, though. Here's the thing. Arrow. I'm just going to say arrow. I never say something I don't know what it means because I like my job. Okay? But I can say arrow. I can say you like that. I can say that like that. I don't know what that means. But I appreciate you coming to the channel, baby. Thank you so much. We got a dope show for you. We got a lot of people that are going to be great. Also, hold on a second. My man said he can't hear me. Can you hear me good? Can you hear me? Let's see. Oh, say something. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I can see him say. Ooh, hold on a second. I mean, so people can hear me. Yo, Sasha, can you hear me? Can y'all hear me on the chat? Let me know. Can y'all hear me? Let me know in the chat. TikTok, can you hear me? I think I can put this on a little bit. Oh, TikTok can hear me. I know that. You can hear me. I know again. I just heard myself. There we go. Cool. I don't know. My big fella said he can't hear me, but that's a man, Chris Eversley. We're going to have him on the show in just a little bit. We got it on mute. What's up, Samuel? How you doing? Arrow, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, we're going to highlight some people. We got a girl named Destiny Gardner, a.k.a. Miss Farmhood. We had another guy named Will Hartzell, a.k.a. LeBron James. This chick is doing amazing things. We're going to catch you up in everything when it comes to the World Cup because as you know, these teams came together to be the best in the world with the amount of groups they have, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, blah, blah, blah. We found out who was the top. We got people already qualifying for the 2024 Paris Olympics. You already know about them 5 rings. I'm telling you, it's just like Thanos. Who will have all the power? And then to keep it going, we got a shout out to my NBA 2K ballers because NBA 2K24 is coming out. And then one of our YouTubers just went crazy and did a little reverse thing when it comes to LeBron James. Instead of him starting at the Cavs, what if he started on the Lakers and then followed that trajectory? Which was so interesting because I was doing research on that. I was like, different players to play against. I don't know if he had that many titles or whatever, but we'll find out. And also to my African countries, I got shout out to South Sudan. South Sudan is definitely going to go on worldwide court because they made waves. And especially all the African countries like Angola and all stuff like that really showing like, yo, we can ball. They got a lot of African ballers from like Sudan and all stuff like that. Egypt still got some great ballers, Morocco. But all I have to say is now with the World Cup and with social media, and now more eyes that are looking globally, you can see these talented players excel, okay? Excel. And that's what I love. I mean, Hollis Jefferson coming out from Jordan. I mean, this guy literally is a Kobe carbon footprint. Like, he's a clone. Like, it's the way he done it, where he looks. He could be Kobe 2.0. We don't know, but we're going to find out. What's up, Greece Kalimera? How you doing, Kalimera? I know Greece is here. What's up? Thank you so much for being part of it. I got you. All right, let's get some people. Now, I said, if you are tuning in right now, they're on TikTok. If you're tuning in on YouTube, and also, look, this guy has shot 4 energy drinks before. Mr. Blue, I can't drink energy drinks. I can't. Know why? Makes me go to sleep. Can't. This is actually who I am. That's why they call me the energy with FIBA and also FIBA 3x3. This is who I am. And if you don't like it, that's cool. There's other channels. But if you do like it, stick around, get some education about basketball, and we like to have a good time. But thank you so much for being part of the channel. What's up? Mama. I appreciate you, Suarez. Garcia. All right, let's get this going on. We got our people there also on Twitch. We got some people in the chat. I appreciate you. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know who you're rooting for in the World Cup, and so I can shout out your country. All right, so let's go. Turkey. What's good, Turkey? Thank you so much. Hi, Anthony. What's going on? How you doing? Hi, Anthony. All right, let's get this show going, because with Shots Fired, we got 6 different segments, and the first one is Talent Overload, and I can't wait to highlight this talent right here. Anyway, this is Talent Overload on Shots Fired, Season 2, Episode 28. Let's go! All right, like I said, if you're new to the channel, we try to find someone in the social media world that's also a basketball influencer, and it could be different ways. It could be when it comes to the art, it could become the style of play. But as you know, with the game evolving every single day, people who played in college are now making a name for themselves. They're making a living doing what they love and also promoting what we love, which is basketball. And you know what? It's time to give some ladies some credit. Right here, let's shout out this great baller here. This is Destiny Gardner, aka Miss Farm Hoops. Now, this lady has over 150,000 followers on Instagram and 135,000 on TikTok, from Mississippi, 5'11", from Olive Branch. Now, if you don't know who that other Caucasian man in the back, that was I was talking before, Will Hartzell, aka LeBron James. We actually highlighted him a couple of shows back, actually almost 20 shows back, in which this guy is on the farm making different kind of contraptions when it comes to his architecture and also playing ball. But this lady right here played at Lewisburg High School, and at that high school, she finished as the school's all-time leading scorer with over 1,000 career points and first team all-conference selection, and also played softball and volleyball. All right. Now, Ms. Gardner also played 2 seasons at Northwest Mississippi Community College, which is Division III, as a sophomore, averaged 7 points and 7 rebounds per game, and then went to Virginia Union, which is Division II, and did some work there as well. But her highlights was definitely when she was at Northwest Mississippi Community College. Now, when she came out, she also basically was showing her basketball talents all around the world. Now, she is a social media influencer. Again, you can check her out at DestinyGar22. That's DESTINYGAR22. And basically showing women that you can ball after college. And when I say this woman's a sharpshooter, she's a sharpshooter. I mean, Letha Shooter would be proud. She goes to parks all over the country, showing out and also promoting that, yo, it doesn't matter what your style, what you look like. If you love the game, keep playing it. And again, at 5'11", this girl was a problem on the court. As you can see, flexing on me. And also, let's see if she got the shot going up. Damn. All right. Now, also, this is another interesting game, which I never thought that Will would create. As you said, he created, I think it's 9 different baskets, and you have to shoot cross. So you have to make all the way down to the center. And it's basically kind of like, knockout, and you got to keep going. And the thing about this, I would love to see this like in another kind of competition when it comes to the All-Star game. Because the All-Star game, we got to find different things to make it interesting. We got the dunk contest and stuff like that. But this was actually quite interesting if you see like NBA players do it. But even making more crazy, like make like half court. But you got to stay in one spot. So as you see, Will almost had a little more confidence, but couldn't get it. And also, Destiny could not finish. All right, we got Serbia in the house. What's up? What's that Insta? Destiny Guard. DESTINYGAR22. Destiny Guard 22. As you see, knocking it down. All right. Very talented basketball player. Again, shout out to Mississippi. Shout out to my country ballers, by the way, because people don't give the country enough credit. People may be in the sticks, but they still rocking. Man, as you're already talking like Larry Bird. I mean, if you're watching Winning Time, dope show. A lot of my boys are on there. When it comes to winning time, some people just got to find a hoop and a rim and got talent, but never got that exposure. I mean, coming from Mississippi, people make fun of the mud. I know they do. I was one of them people. Until you actually go there and see the talent there and see what they do, like in the barnyard, as they can say, and make a lot of fun shots, which is crazy. It's good. But yeah, Vince Chang is always like this. I highly recommend watching this past stream. He's very passionate about it. Yo, thank you so much, Scotty Elite. I love you. I love you, bro. I love you. But yeah, like I said, that's Talent Overload right there. Destiny Gardner, a.k.a. Miss Farm Hoop. Okay, Miss Farm Hoop. Again, follow her. Destiny, DESTINYGAR. That's Gar 22. All right? Okay, we still got my people there. And I love my people on YouTube. What's going on? Reja from Serbia. Dravo, what's going on? Vincent. My name's Vincent. Your name, Vincent. We brothers now, and we calling. But thank you so much, Elite. What's up, Luke? I appreciate Turkey. I love Turkey. What's going on? You guys are awesome. We got more Serbian fans right now. Congratulations, advancing. That's going to be insane. Again, The ideal ending to the World Cup would be, of course, Canada versus America, just to end the feud. But if Serbia advances, absolutely down with that too. Absolutely down with that. Because what I can see right now is that with the amount of talent that's been coming from all different sides, there's nothing we can do to take it away, And with the Final Four, coming around, it's cool. Germany also, that game against Latvia. That went down to the wire. But also, you got Schroeder. And also, you got some ballers in Germany. And Germany was definitely being a lot tougher than I thought. But you know what? I'm going to stop talking freestyle. Let's get back to action time because actually, we have another part of the show of Shots Fired, which is called Breaking News. And you already know what's going on. It's the FIBA World Cup. So there's nothing further ado. This is Breaking News and Shots Fired. Let's go. All right, if you're still around, it's time to get it going and popping. How y'all doing here, yo? I play for a first grade basketball team. Congratulations. Keep playing. Gabon. What's going, Gabon? I love my people. I love my world coming in. But anyway, put this up real quick, Sasha, my man here. As you already know, it's time for the news, and you already know what's going on. We'll pick up right where we left off last Friday with the World Cup action because a lot has happened. In the past few days, it's been insane. We talk about Lithuania, talk about USA, talk about Serbia, talk about Germany, talk about Canada, and other countries are just going straight war. But let's go right here because you can see Dominican Republic is insane, but we got more things to go. The one thing I do know is I love what's going on with the World Cup. Now, as you can see, we're going to focus on round two, and I think group with Italy, Serbia, and the top lot advance. As you can see, last Sunday, the Italians breezed past Puerto Rico 73-57 to dump them out on the competition, and then Serbia destroyed the Dominican Republic, really bad. It was horrible. The Republic 122-79 to eliminate Cat. But as you see, Cat is crazy. But here, Lithuania finished in the top spot with the overall record of 5-0. And get this, they beat the USA. They actually beat the USA. Congratulations to them. And it was a 110-104 victory over the Americans on Sunday. And with 7 players hitting double-double, it was beautiful. Now, after that, with them, it's insane because with the well-rounded team from USA as well, you don't know what's going to happen. And what's getting to me is that even after a 35-point outburst from this guy right here, Anthony Edwards, the USA still advanced to the quarterfinals, but still losing to Lithuania. But then Montenegro and Greece were eliminated from this group, which was crazy. And in Group K, it's Germany, Slovenia advanced with a 5-0 record and a 4-1 record, respectively. The two battled out in the final game before the quarterfinals, with Germany running out 100-71 behind 24 points from Dennis Schroeder. And then, of course, Slovenia is another game, and they beat Australia 91-80, which we saw the Aussie eliminated from the competition, along with another country, Georgia. And that was a crazy group all in all. Okay, now on our last show, it was Upset Friday. Latvia beating Spain, and Brazil beating Canada. What? Congratulations, my Latvians. Y'all did great. But also Brazil, I just know obrigado. Y'all did great. And on the second set of games, Latvia secured another win over Brazil, though, 104-84. And then also, look, Spain lost again to the time for Canada. 88-85. That was a crazy team. I thought Spain was going to come out, but, Canada had off. And consequently, Canada and Latvia advanced with Spain and Brazil. They're out. And now yesterday, we saw the first quarterfinals, and Lithuania suffered their first loss of the tournament, and that was a big one, okay? They fell to Serbia 87-68 with the NBA guard Bogdan Bogdanovic was scoring 21 points, and the Lithuanians are out, while Serbia are now going to the semifinals. In another game, USA dominated Italy 100-63 to advance, and it's one of a million players like Mikal Bridges that went off with USA 24 points and 7 rebounds. Now, today's game, Germany knocked out Latvia early in the morning, but an 81-79 contest. Germany looked home free until Latvia fought back and even had a chance to win the game right at the buzzer. But hey, it happens. It's done. Germany is going through, and they were behind the one and only Franz Wagner with 16 points and 8 rebounds. Okay, now in the last game as well, because the one thing we love seeing was a definite battle. Canada versus Slovenia, and Kenya beat Luka Doncic. That man, Dylan Brooks, I gotta hate him, but sometimes you gotta love him. 100-89. Luka scored 26 points in 29 minutes, but it wasn't a month because he also got ejected. All right. Which is insane because Dylan Brooks got ejected too from mouthing off. I mean, the young stars of Canada are now on to the semifinals, which is great, but Slovenia was one of the favorites. And the one thing I did love about that, they were down by almost 20 points and got it to 9. And it was just a back and forth seesaw bet. It was a volley like Venus and Serena Williams. You didn't know what was going to happen. But the one thing is that they never stopped fighting, which that's what I always love about Slovenia. And it's shown that Slovenia is going to be a problem next year. If Luka Doncic stayed on the court, they may have been aroused more, but I also got to question the refs. I'm going to do it. This shot's fired. Let me shoot my shots. The refs don't let them play, but then call fouls that we don't know are fouls. But then I know FIBA rules are different, NBA rules. So it's a lot to grasp and understand overseas play with American play. But some of them are just questionable. The interesting one was Brandon Ingram dunking, and I forgot on who. And yeah, Brandon Ingram, yeah, that's when you dunk, you got to protect yourself. And yeah, he hit him, but then got a flagrant foul for protecting himself. And I'm like, yo, that shit's getting dunked on, B. Yo, get your weight up. Like, that's not a foul. But again, I'm not a zebra. I know they're trying their best to do their job, and what they do is incredible because, again, I played ball. That's a lot of pressure. And now you're in the World Cup, and with everyone, including me, having their opinion, it's a lot of just pure pressure of what you're going to go through being a referee. But anyway, that's what are your opinions right now when it comes to these games? My people there on YouTube and also Twitch and also TikTok. What's up, Kobe Bryant? Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. Okay, what's everybody's going? Now I'm in 7th grade. I'm still playing. All right, good. Germany is the best. Canada is going to meet USA in the finals. I'm sure about that. We'll see about that. We'll see. The world champion of basketball, man. World champion of basketball. That's what we're talking about on Shots Fired. But yeah, that's a lot going on. Okay, with the World Cup we still got the quarterfinals coming up. And with Serbia, Canada, USA, and Germany, it's going to be all out, bro. I mean, everybody I think wants to see the USA versus the Canadian team. To me personally, because so many NBA players are going to go against each other, and also these other NBA players like RJ Barrett, you got Jalen Brunson, you got Dylan Brooks, all on the Canadian team. But then also when you have the USA team, I mean, Mikal Bridges, and you got Brandon Ingram, and then you got Paulo Banchero. So it's going to be a true battle with international players who've made it to the NBA, but now can wear a different flag that doesn't represent, quote unquote, the NBA. They represent their country. So that's going to be interesting. But still, Serbia and Germany are still no teams that we could just shy away from. They still got a lot of talent and NBA players on them too. So we'll see. We'll see. Who are we rooting for? Yo, the Olympic quadra is going to be insane. Elite, I'm going to talk about that this show as well, so just stay tuned for the FIBA story. We're going to talk about those Olympic qualifying draws. And Aaron Diz, was good. Good to see you there on YouTube. Also, Argentina. I got to visit Argentina so bad. It's one of my countries on my list. Top is Japan, then it's Australia, then I want to go to Bali, and then it's Argentina, and then maybe Brazil. But we'll see. Oh, Colombia. Ooh, Colombia is closer. I'm in New York. But anyway, cool. All right, we got someone waiting. All right, like I said, we do the first two things, talent overload and also breaking news. And then I am so proud that we get a guest interview. This man coming, you know what? Before I get started, come and give a proper introduction because he's my brother, but he's done a lot more things than I thought. And I'm glad I was doing this research. But anyway, this is the guest interview on Shots Fired. Let's go. So, guessing the Shots Fired, we get someone that's either, again, a part of the basketball community, have actually played or actually contributes, and when it comes to fashion and when it comes to community. This man right here is on a completely different level. Not only is he a good-looking big fella, this man has played all over the world. He's been in China. He's also played in colleges. He's been a part of the big dance when it comes to college basketball. So the one thing I love about it is that he is the epitome right now because he got to give his 2 cents about the World Cup. This man is Chris Eversley, and watch this crazy hype video because this man was nice, and he still is. Let's check it out. Can you hear me now? right, let's turn on the mic. Let's see if I can hear him. Hold on 1 second. All right, Sasha, turn on his mic. Say something, big fella.
All right, I'm here.
Ah, you can hear me now, huh? Can't you? I told you, man.
I missed all the good stuff. I couldn't hear it.
That's why you gotta watch the show in another. But anyway, man, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is Chris Eversley. How you doing, fella?
What's going on, Vince? It is, outside of it almost touching 100 here in LA, I'm not complaining. What about you?
Bro, it's 92 and I'm in a hoodie because I'm about my brand and I'm sweating for the culture, okay? Fashion hurts. And it also makes me moist.
Hey, I feel you. Brand aligned. I'm with you. OS, shots fired. It's a match made in heaven at this point.
We're going to talk about OS. But anyway, Chris, every person that I get on the show, and when it comes to basketball, I always ask this first question. What was the first memory that you can recall that involved basketball in your life?
Oh, man. I'm not going to lie to you, Vince. You're about to get an answer that's probably unlike anything you've gotten before. So my first basketball memory, I kid you not, and my mom can attest to this, I had a Fisher-Price basket, like everybody else, right? We set up in the house. I'm from Chicago, so I grew up watching MJ.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so obviously trying to imitate the man, come fly with me at the IMAX, like all of that stuff back in the day. I tried to imitate one of his backwards, just a regular reverse dunk.
Okay.
So me being, the unathletic, spatially challenged kid that I was, jumped off the couch and tried to do a reverse dunk. Ended up missing the entire basket and cracked my head open on the wall, like on the corner of the wall, and just like literally split my head open and ran into the bathroom, told my mom what happened. Leaking everywhere, obviously, had to go to the ER. The ER. That was my first basketball memory, and it is obviously etched physically and metaphorically into my brain.
This guy said EDR. He's about to say EDM. This guy's been partying since he was a kid. But that's because you technically had a concussion, but you still remember that, which is insane. Like, do you remember the pain, or you just went like? Because as kids, we get hurt, but never know how hurt we are. We just go, "Oh, it's blood." Ma, like, so do you remember the pain at all or no?
Oh no, I remember it. I remember the pain between that and falling off my bike, which gave me the scar. Like it's the pain at that point. Honestly, it still doesn't top when I broke my face playing in Germany. So that's
Save that story, because I'm about to go through your whole trajectory really quick. You got somebody LOL Pinky. I don't know who that is, but they're already saying that you are 100, that you are amazing. And I don't know if you know LOL Pinky on TikTok. So they love you.
Okay.
You got fans, big fella. You got fans.
Well, thank you, LOL Pinky.
All right, so let's just go back, because again, you're a baller. I did a little research on you. So you went, you're in high school and you were a decent player. Tell the people where you're from when it came to high school.
Yeah, so originally from Chicago, born and raised on the South Side. My high school wasn't known for sports pretty much at all.
Yeah.
Shout out to Walter Payton College Prep. We are the most recently ranked top 2, I think number 1 academic public high school in the country. So your boy Loki is nerd and has been since 2005. I have no shame in my game. But yeah, college prep school. It ended up obviously getting me into Rice University, which is another prestigious university here in America. And they deem themselves the Harvard of the South. So got an athletic scholarship to go down there. And then, that's kind of just how I got onto the NCAA scene, is just by way of getting a great education at Payton and then picking up Mandarin as a second language as part of the high school curriculum. But
here's the thing, you're also diluting something, because yes, the Walter Payton College Prep, you were the first athlete from this prep to sign a letter of intent to a Division I program, which to me, every first needs to get their flowers. But as you said, now it's a high academic school. Back then, it wasn't a big athletic school, but still academic. how did that feel being that first, like literally, as you said, nerd to make it athletically to go to a school that's for athletes?
It was special. It was
Yeah.
special. You know, the school at that point had only been open by the time I graduated less than 10 years. Right.
Okay,
So I
wow.
graduated. Yeah. So it was kind of, it was really special because I knew that was something I always want to do, was like go play college ball.
Mhm.
So, you know, really just taking the student athlete mantra or motto, or, you know, just that type of, I don't want to say that weight, but just
Yeah.
that title, you know, before you get to the NCAA, you know, then you become a student athlete, right? But
Yeah, exactly.
Peyton really emphasized that. And, you know, I shout out my girl, Courtney, one of my best friends from high school. She signed to play volleyball at Ole Miss. So
Oh,
we had
wow.
a joint ceremony. Yeah. So it was the both of us. It was the first signing day. So Courtney, if you ever see this, you already know, we had the joint signing day back, feels like many moons ago. But yeah, it was dope to be able to be, you know, in that first initial group. And then, you know, we've had people go on after that, but being number one is always, shout out to Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last.
Ricky Bobby, baby. Ricky Bobby. First and last. Okay, but now you were out for only a year at Rice. Then you transferred to Cal Poly. Now, I always hear about these stories because I always shout out my little cousin, Justin, who went to Toledo, and then he went to Niagara. And, you know, now there's like the portal and stuff like that. So transfer was a little harder growing up. What was the reason, if you don't mind sharing, you going from Rice to go to Cal Poly?
I just honestly wanted a better fit basketball wise. And it was, quite frankly, you know, Rice was a small school, obviously a very prestigious institution, still got mad love from, still connected to a lot of people from there. I just wanted something different from my collegiate basketball experience. Right. And it was, you know, just in terms of like student body size, Rice was about 2,500 undergrad. And then SLO was 20,000.
Okay,
so,
got it.
Right, exactly. So, you know, I wanted, it's not like I was out here trying to be Van Wilder or anything. But I did want something a little bit different. And, you know, really wanted to be a big fish in a small pond. And that's what I was able to find at Cal Poly. Shout out to Omar Lowry and Dan Poneman, the triangle that made that happen. Omar Lowry is the one who recruited me. And yeah, he's actually back on staff now at Cal Poly. So I'll be seeing him quite frequently throughout the season. And then we're going to be having I know we're going to touch on this later. We got a 10-year anniversary coming up for something a little special. So I'll wait till we get to
I got that. Oh, man. And that's beautiful. And as you said, but then now you became a decent sized fish at this school because you were also all Big West first team as a junior, all Big West second team in your final season. You went to the Big West championship, and then you were MVP after scoring 18 points in the final game against Cal State Northridge, and you were considered to be the catalyst of this, what I'll get into, of the 2014 NCAA Men's Division Basketball Tournament, the Big Dance. Please tell me that feeling, being part of the Big Dance, playing at a quote-unquote low-level school, and then competing with the top athletes in the world.
Oh man, it was surreal. Honestly, it was something that we had been knocking on the doorstep the year beforehand. We lost to Pacific in the semifinals, and they ended up going on to win it. So, you know, kind of just that senior year back against the wall. I mean, if you look at our record, I think we might have been 13-19 or
13-19.
13-19 going into the tournament. So, you know, I think we were like the second worst team ever. So, you know, shout out to everybody who just stuck with us, honestly, because we got whooped by UC Santa Barbara the weekend before for senior night.
Oh, what? You lost at your senior night?
No, we lost by 17 our senior night.
Yo, so if y'all watching it, they're on TikTok and stuff like that. I know some young bucks, you know, are just starting to get into basketball because we got some first graders, second. Look, senior night is a big thing when it comes to high school, but especially in college. That's the last time you're going to be with your brothers. So you got to win. Like the biggest senior night will always be between Duke and North Carolina. So there's always that, I want to beat them senior night. So when you lose on your senior night, that is a scar. That is a stain. That is a scarlet letter on your chest. But you did something incredible by still going to the tournament and making a name for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it was a complete 180, honestly, because it was we lost to Santa Barbara, who I mean, ironically enough, they're our rival. So you know, not quite Duke and UNC. So we lose to our rival on senior night. You know, whole family is there, all the crowd is there, whatever. So we actually we draw them first round at a Big West tournament, literally 6 days later. Right. So we draw them. My
And
boy
whoop 'em.
Al, my boy Big Al, he's not gonna be happy, but we got the dub the first round. We got him back the next night in the semis. We beat Irvine,
Mhm.
and then unbeknownst, I mean, we were all obviously there, but on
Yeah.
the other side of the bracket, Northridge was wrecking havoc because they were a 5 seed.
Oh, word.
So they were, it was a 5 versus 7 in the finals. So we both upset, our way all the way to the finals, and
Okay.
yeah, pretty much the night came, and just a lot of emotions that night and getting that game out the way. Shout out to Dave Nwaba, who went on to play for the Lakers, around the league. Shout out to my boy Ridge Shipley, who hit the big shot. Kyle Oster hit a big free throw. All the guys who are a part of that team. And then when you go into the tournament, you on private jets, you getting police escorts.
Word.
You in St. Louis, so the family could come down from Chicago. My mom and my dad driving all the way down.
All
So
right, big fella.
yeah, it was weird, man, being a part of that and just seeing it happen in real time, because you hear the one shining moment every March, but to actually be a part of it was crazy.
What was your most, and again, we can talk about the basketball, but I want both. I want your most memorable basketball moment about the tournament, but also non-basketball moment, because as you said, private jet and stuff like that. Was there like a specific memory that you're like, yo, what is this? Like, this right here isn't real life?
Yeah, it was probably non-on court would probably be probably just honestly getting a chance to just chop it up with Reggie Miller. Like, I thought
that's a memory. What? What?
Exactly.
Pace of Reggie Miller?
Right.
What?
Pace of legend, exactly. It was getting a chance to chop it up with him after our shoot around before we played against TSU.
Bro.
And he just told me, he was like, hey man, they're gonna follow your lead, like just lead them the right way. So the next night we came out and got the dub against TSU. And that would probably be my, non-basketball moment. But the basketball moment was probably getting on the court against Wichita State.
Yeah.
Getting on the court because, at that point we didn't know they had, 3 to 4 future NBA players.
Fred VanVleet going to the Raptors, Ron Baker going to the Knicks. Like, yeah, bro.
Exactly. Like, you got Cleanthony Early, you got one of the Wiggins brothers. So, like, that was kind of the moment where you're like in that arena. You're playing in a 20,000 or 18,000 person stadium, and it is pretty much full.
Yeah.
So.
Did you guys play in the football? Would you guys play in the football field that year, or no? You guys played.
That was what was it? Was the Edward Jones Dome? It might have been. Actually.
Yeah,
right. I don't remember, but like I said, because of the score, I don't remember. So,
well, I'm about to run your parade because remember you said that you were the second worst. No, you were the worst record of entering the tournament at 13-19 since Oakland entered the Big Dance in 2005 with the same record. So you're only second because you're tied with the worst.
Exactly. That is true. That is true. I can't hide from that. That is public knowledge that I cannot escape from, and I'm not gonna try to. I'm gonna hold that badge for sure.
I just want everybody to know. Look, you can be the worst and still be the best. Like that. That's just.
That's true. That is true.
But I said I never win, so I'm just hating too. But I just said being the MVP, and also you were on ESPN SportsCenter. But then this also trajectory goes to your professional career. Because after playing against Wichita State, you took part in a 9-game, 2-week tour through China with the United States Basketball Academy. First of all, I didn't know this thing existed. Okay, what is the United States Basketball Academy?
It's an organization that basically aims to give college players. Honestly, I think by this point, today it's taken on like a mind of its own, where now they do like pros. Maybe if they're guys looking for contracts or whatever it is, just getting them exposure in the Chinese market. So at the time, they it was a mixture of pro guys. We had I think 1 or 2 NBA vets, and I mean, pretty much just you get to go to China and play in different cities.
Nice.
For me, again, for Mandarin being my second language at the time, like it was kind of just like it was a dope experience to be able to put that to use. And just being with some of the homies and just experiencing experiencing another continent for the first time was like was interesting, especially when you go to China, because like obviously there's a language barrier, there's a food barrier, like there's so many barriers to entry, right? And you know, being able to have that at 22 years old it was awesome.
And also, so are you still fluent in Mandarin, or you're like wonky now? Like
I'm a little wonky now. Not since I've been back at the crib full time. I've lost it. I can't front.
So bull. So Zhongguo is that, because when I went to China, and you know me being Jamaican Chinese, and I just know like when they say nutrition, I'm just going pijo. I just want beer. That's all I said. Pijo. Like, oh. But that's interesting to be like, because you're 6'6" or 6'5".
6'6", 6'7", somewhere around there.
Yeah, so you're a big man, and then we start speaking Asian, and I say Asian because when you speak Japanese, Korean, Chinese, you know, whatever, they're always amazed. And real quick, just want to go to the chat. Hi, Steph. Hi, everybody from Greece. Kalimera. Yes, this is Shots Fired. Your man, Vince Chang, and also Chris Eversley. We are live. So if you have any questions for this man, please put in the chat. And my question for you is that you signed with the Westport's Malaysia Dragons in the ASEAN or ASEAN Basketball League, the ABL. And that, to me, was incredible. And Sasha, put up this picture of him screaming, because I did a little research on you. Your first game out there, you dropped 31 points. 31 points your first game. Oh, yeah, I did my little research. So you made a name. Being black in China or in the Asian continents, we already get celebrity status. Being tall gets celebrity status. Tell me the pathway from getting off the plane, all that experience, and then scoring 31 points your first game. Where did the celebrity status go from there?
Well, I would say, do you know who that first game was against?
Hold on a second.
It was my first question, because that actually answers the trajectory question.
Okay.
And if not, it's cool. I'll tell you.
Okay. You put it against High Tech Bangkok City.
Okay. Right. So that was the first. That was our regular season game.
Okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
So my first pro game.
Okay.
I gave Gilas, which is the Filipino national team, 32 in Makati City.
Oh, so this is another. Oh my God! Hold on. So the Philippines.
Exactly.
So you gave him 32.
32. We ended up losing, but I was able to get him a quick light 32. And yeah, that was like my first game, my first pro game out of college. Like it was summer. It was like our summer tour. We went up there because Coach Ariel, he's Filipino. He was our coach at the time. He got us up there, and we played against obviously Gilas. We played against some PBA G League teams or D League teams. So yeah, we were out there, but Gilas was our first game. So playing against the national team was like, all right, well, just another Daniel for me. I'm gonna go out here and get our buckets.
Just getting buckets. You get buckets there. And then also, I didn't know this about you. You declared yourself in the 2014 NBA draft. Now, how does that work? Because I know when the big stars go there, you know, there's only 2 rounds and stuff like that. What was going through your mind when you said, you know what, I think I play professionally, and I'm sorry to go down a dark road. When you didn't get your name called, what was that feeling like?
Well, I mean, quite honestly, like I was real with myself based on how my senior season had went. And again, we weren't like, we had a good amount of like marquee games in the preseason, you know, going to face Arizona, playing against like Aaron Gordon, Brandon Ashley, TJ McConnell, you know, kind of just like bouncing around. You know, I was having conversations prior to like my senior year of high school, and I was like, okay, well, how can I even get in the mix, right? Just talking to my parents, I was like, well, the most obvious way is you got to go out and you got to be one of the top scorers in college basketball. But again, like you just have to go out and do that to get on the radar. So,
facts.
You know, halfway through the season, when I'm not out here averaging 30, I'm like, all right, well, hey, look, the least I can do is just go out here and try to make something happen. But luckily, making it to the tournament, you know, was good for that trajectory because it did get us on CBS and like, you know, national television and stuff. So I do think the tournament honestly probably saved my pro chances in terms of like not having to go to like lower league Europe right away. And just being able to go to Asia and be like, look, you know, as an American or as an import in Asia in the ASEAN League, you're a hired gun, right? Like you got to go out there, you got to give out 25, 30 a night, or you on the plane home the next day.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's cutthroat, but that was something that it taught me a lot. And I think that, you know, once I got through that midpoint in the season, I'm like, all right, cool. Well, the NBA is not salvageable. I'm not one of the 60 best players in the country, like or internationally, right? So I'm like, just be real with yourself and like, all right, go have fun. Like there's still a lot of other places in the world to go explore. And that's what I was able to do.
That to me is going to be a soundbite right there, because I don't think a lot of players understand that. Well, I think only now because of social media, the World Cup and everything, but there's so many other places you can play and still make a living, like not just live paycheck to paycheck. Look pretty nice. I mean, I got a lot of homegirls that we talk about the WNBA all day. When they go overseas, they're treated like they're supposed to. They're making millions of dollars in some of these countries. And I mean, when my homegirls, played at Kansas, went overseas, she said, yeah, I'm only making 40, 60 grand a year, but I don't pay for rent. I don't pay for my car. The whole city loves me. I don't pay for food. I'm living there for free and I'm pocketing 60 grand, which in retrospect, with taxes and all, when you're making six figures, that's how much is going in your pocket anyway. So, and they're getting sometimes, I mean, I don't know if I can say that, but they're getting something like on the table, stuff like that. So it's interesting. But also going from Asia and then going to Germany, because you were at a place called the Rhine Stars. How was that a culture shock going from America, Asia, and now the Germans? Like, was that crazy, or was it like, oh, was that just another day in office?
It was a little different. Fortunately, obviously, Germany, German is their language, but everybody speaks English, right?
Okay.
For the most part. So outside of like some people just, being trying to be typical like Germans and not trying to help you out with the language barrier, other than that, like it was pretty smooth. Like I was able to, rely on my teammates. And then the town that I was in, like I think it might have been, I think they might have the largest university system. So you had you had a lot of like younger people there, So again, at that point, most of the demographic is speaking English anyway.
Yes, you're good.
Exactly. So that was the one thing I learned about being pretty much in Germany and then in Belgium the year prior, right? Like especially with like the Netherlands right there. Those three countries in particular, are very like English heavy. Because you have like when you go to the movie theaters, like they're going to offer a German version and they're going to offer what's called the OV, the original version, right? Yeah, so that was something that I learned about over there. But people over there in those particular countries, they watch English television. They watch, and that was then, right? Like now you got Netflix, which is like Love Island, so you get the British influence. You're getting like all these different shows. So. I think that it was cool to see then, but just to see what it's kind of taken on now. I think Germany, honestly, it felt the most like America out of the places that I played.
Awesome. And there's a question from Scotty Elite, and he says, how's the culture experience has been so far playing in different teams overseas, which you kind of briefly explained that, but also, as you said, with the food with Asia, that's one thing. With the German, as you said, that was a language barrier. And you had another place you played. Where else did you play at?
Belgium.
Oh, so Belgium. Okay. So another thing with the coach experience, as a 22, now you're 24 now, 25?
25 in Belgium, 26 in Germany.
I got you. Now, being from Chicago, as you said, right? Man, deep dish pizza, whatever. Tell me the culture experience past basketball, walking around and just getting educated. And like, was there anything that you took from and now it's like been engraved in your life, or something you really learned from just being overseas versus being in America all the time?
Yeah, I would honestly just say one thing that I noticed, and this was primarily in Asia, and it was how appreciative people are of just life in general.
Got it.
With so much less.
Right? Yes.
Like here in America, like we have everything at our disposal, right? So it's like obviously, you can go on like quote first world problems, right? That's like our running joke with us. Yeah. But when you're in the Philippines, when you're in Indonesia, when you're in these countries mainly around Southeast Asia, you realize that people are 2 and 3 times more happier with 2 or 3 times more less. So it's kind of just like that was very interesting to see. Just especially again, now was kind of like rewinding the clock to 22, 23 years old. So
facts. Yeah.
I would say that was the biggest adjustment. And then when I popped over to Europe, again, a little bit more westernized.
Okay.
So, you kind of just like The language barrier in Belgium was a little bit more difficult, just because for people here that don't know, Belgium is it's pretty much split in terms of like language barriers, right? So if you're north of Brussels, you're pretty much speaking Dutch or primarily English. And if you're south of Brussels, when you get to like Charleroi, like that, you get down into like the French speaking part of the country. Where it's just above France, right? So the running joke is always when a person in Antwerp, or when a person in Antwerp speaks to a person in Brussels or Charleroi, the French speaking person always dominates the conversation because they don't want to speak English or they don't want to speak Dutch. The Northerners have to accommodate the Southerners within the same country, which is so interesting because, like, you know, in America or like in other countries, you'll have dialects, but not completely different languages.
Yeah, that's what's messing with, because like we on the south, like, hey, what's up, man? Right now we from Tennessee, whatever. But then we get like, oh my God, right there, I'm in California. Like, yo, this is Chi-town. But we don't got completely different languages that I mean, honestly, you go to Miami, everybody speaks Spanish now, so you know that's different. But that's something I never knew. Really quick, Sammy, got you. I am saying hi to you. Thank you so much for the question, Elite. Now, before we transition to something else, because I want to give you flowers on one thing, you said you broke your face in Germany.
Oh man,
what happened with the face breaking? What?
All right, so disclaimer, this is by far the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. It has to this day. Like, again, I've had jammed fingers, I've had torn ligaments, like all this stuff. So shout out to AI. We talking about practice, right? So
AI, Allen Iverson. We talking about AI.
Right, in practice, right? Now artificial intelligence. I know it's 2023. We talking about Allen Iverson, the OG AI.
Okay.
I was in practice and literally was running around the screen. We were running through plays. And 4 days before my 26th birthday, I ran into an elbow from one of my teammates, and literally I had a dent in my face. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen that picture of like Russell Westbrook when he broke his cheekbones. Like, very similar to that, right? So I had a dent in my face, like, actually. Like, obviously I had the concussion, I had the zygomatic fracture, like my entire situation, again, 4 days before the birthday. Ended up having surgery 3 days before my birthday. So I was out here looking like Kanye after the Through the Wire video, just out here all bad, looking facially challenged for my 26th birthday.
But how much sympathy, love did you get though? Oh my God. You were
none, because I was out here looking hideous, bro. I was out here looking like I had just got out of the Walking Dead makeup section.
Quasimodo from Notre Dame.
Exactly. Like big hunchback energy. Like nobody was messing with me.
Well, okay. I never knew that story, but then also you said that you have there's a scar in this man's face. I mean, you see it right there in the left one. And I'm a weird person. I actually like scars. Facial scars. Every picture I always tell my family, my friends and like girls that talk to me, oh my God, you're so cute as a baby. What's wrong with your face? Because every baby picture I have a scar on my face, like because we're one of those kids. But I always want like the Kakashi scar that's like a slice on my eye, or like that cool scar that's right there, but it's like a neat scar that doesn't keloid. But you always had that scar there, which always I thought you were just so, I don't want to say the bad word, but you know, just a rough mother lover. Because when I first met you, I was like, this guy can't be this likable with a scar on his face. And was that scar for something else, or was that from when you broke your face?
No, so actually, funny enough, the scar underneath is from my surgery.
Okay, gotcha.
Right. The scar up top was from me being 7 years old, trying to impress my 13-year-old female neighbor by doing a wheelie on a bike and fell on my face. So the people that are in here watching this across multiple platforms, y'all know the truth. But now it's weird because like people, they think it's like a weird like Jason Momoa type of vibe.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm not really mad at it, but I'm lesson out of it. So like, I'll take it, I guess.
We always hype it. Like, I got a scar here and it's like sliced on my arm. Like, yo, what happened? I just say, yeah, I was like with a girl at Central Park and some guy tried to mug me, took out a knife, and slashed me. Really? Oh my God, you're so brave. But the true story is I was carrying groceries. My brother had a 240 SX that got in an accident. The antenna scratched my arm. I thought it was a bug. I went like that and the metal went like a thread And that's all that happened. But I make it because we make it sound more glamorous than it is, because Scar is supposed to be cool. But
oh no, for sure.
That's still a cool story. Now, take it a sec back. Please, Sasha, get to the next picture, because when you were overseas, you also did another amazing milestone, which is score 1,000 points in your career professionally, which right here to my left is a huge feat, no matter where you're playing, from middle school, high school, college, professionally. What was that night like when you finally dropped that 1,000 bucket?
It was tough. It was tough, honestly, because we were actually on a losing streak, and it actually, we were on a big skid too. And I always have a rule, and this is, I mean, players out there, you can adopt this if you want. This is just something personal, especially in the age of social media. But I don't believe in posting highlights after a loss.
Okay.
So I actually did it in a game against one of my very good friends, who is now actually a coach in Taiwan, Anthony Tucker.
Okay.
But I did it against his team, the Macau Black Bears. We were in Macau when it happened, but we actually didn't. I think we lost another like 2 games after that.
Oh, wow.
So like it was 2 weeks in between when I did it and then like when I actually posted it, because we hadn't won a game.
Wow. Right. Okay.
So like I'm not a big advocate of that. I think social media has really done a lot of bad for I don't want to say self-promotion, because it can go both ways, right?
Yeah.
But I don't believe in glorifying a
loss,
especially a team game.
Yeah.
Individual accolades, especially when the team loses.
Okay.
Right.
And that makes sense too, because then you're like, yeah, you may have had the best dunk ever, but yeah, you also lost the game. So why don't you wait until you have a high note after that? Which is interesting, because we're talking to that guy Hollis, I think Hollis Jefferson, on Jordan. I mean, this guy's literally Kobe incarnate. I mean, yeah, his team is losing, but still, he has one of the best highlights in the tournament. So you can't help but give him credit. But it's like I hear what you're saying too, because a lot of kids will post all these great moves, but they never win a game, which is also like, bro, what are you doing? Which is a great thing. I actually like you have some great sign bites on this interview. I got to get you on more shows, because this man has a whole bunch of wisdom.
I'm always down to come back. I mean, but on that note with Ronnie Hollis Jefferson, I mean, he's out there moving like a left-handed coach.
Yeah,
right. And I think the cool thing about him is, for anybody familiar with his route, like he was in the league for a little bit, obviously. And I think that another person who just didn't let an NBA bounce back stop him from chasing his dream.
Exactly.
Right? Being able to play for the national team. But even his interview, when they were asking about, looking like Kobe, a left-hand Kobe, very humble, somebody who's been through a lot, somebody who has like an AAU program who's giving back. So, I don't like he's somebody, obviously, I don't know personally, but if this ever gets to him, like, shout out to Rondé, man, just like keeping it rocking, keeping it rolling, and giving back to the youth, and just, making sure tomorrow's stars, at least, in his wheelhouse, in his ecosystem, have a platform through his AAU team.
Exactly. And giving back. And I especially love when he had that dunk, even like when announcer said, and his wife is even on her feet. Like, just to say that too, it's like, not only he's a family man, he's a basketball player, but as you said, he's a man that gives back to the community. Just a few more things before I get you off. I see the promotion, the OS, Overtime Solution. I just have to ask, if that's okay, what is that? What is that, Overtime Solutions? Because it looks like you love it.
All right. No, I appreciate it, man. So Overtime Solutions is it's a company that I started in January of this year. And basically what I do is I help athletes, both collegiate and professional, transition into their life after sports.
Okay.
Right? So basically, if you're a college athlete, I work with your university and your athletic department to be able to put you through a curriculum to, let's just say, if you're a college senior who is done, quite frankly, like, I don't want to play this sport anymore. Like, college is paid for. Like, I've done it. I've taken it as far as I can go.
Yeah.
I help you, get those career transition skills ready, put you through a curriculum to be able to help you understand how the working world works.
Yeah.
And then the same thing for pro athletes, right? Like, if you're a pro athlete and, you're looking ahead to retirement, or, that you think this is your last year, or, quite frankly, if you're going through the long summer, is what I call it. A lot of people signing late. Just making sure, like, hey, look, one way or another, whether it's through injury, whether it's through, your personal decision, like, the ball is going to stop bouncing, right? So I think you got to look ahead. And it was a much needed organization, or a much needed company, because a lot of people, a lot of companies out there, they try to come in just as like agent placement fees, right? They're like, okay, we're gonna place athletes because they know we have the intangibles, but again, like quite frankly, they're there at the end when the money's there to be made through a direct placement, right? Where I designed my company to honestly be all about diversity, equity, inclusion, and in educational curriculum. Like, hey, look, as somebody who spent 5 years professionally overseas, and then now 4 years in the working space, you know, almost 3 years in tech, like I understand what it takes to be able to do what you have to do to, you know, to get people to look at your resume, to get people to look at your LinkedIn, like that type of stuff. So it's just something that honestly, I love being able to help people with their next step. And again, everything that I do at the company is from experience because I've lived it. So I want people to be able to have a seamless transition, a smooth transition into their next chapter, because it can be an identity crisis and a lot of big stuff coming down the line now. So yeah, like, you know, starting to work out the roadmap for the next couple of years, and really just being that source that people can come to, and, you know, and if we want to put a term on it, like increase their job confidence and job readiness.
Got you. Which is awesome, because then you're basically the Chris Paul of the business world right after, you know, giving that assist, everybody. Real quick, USA, we'll talk about USA, big game, Lafayette, Germany, we'll talk about it in a little bit. But with that, Overtime Solutions, and now that's another thing I always talked about with some of my friends, and we have the same kind of like network of after college, what are you doing? You know, if you weren't the top 60 player in the country or the top 200 player in the world, what are you going to do with your life? And we all can say there's more than basketball. You could be a coach, you could be a GM, you could be a manager of somehow. But then how do you use what we learned on the court in real life? And which is great that you as an advocate, because as you said, you've lived through it. You've gone to college, you've done the draft, you've been overseas, you had the ups, you had your face broken, okay? So you know about the injury recovery. And I think athletes, and this is my personal giving you flowers, would trust you more, because then you're not just some coach who never played, because we watch these announcers all the time who's never dribbled a basketball in their life, but they're the experts at it. It's like, you don't know. I love JJ Redick. I love him because he goes on and says real. You don't know what's like recovering from a hamstring injury. You don't know what's like when it's 14 seconds left on the clock and you're coming off that screen. You were never there. So how are you going to tell, oh, that guy's a bum? You don't know. Would you do that? So with that, I know there's a lot of things in the pipeline. If there's anything I can do, of course, hit me up, because I definitely want to promote it. And that's something I would definitely want to be supportive of if I could do anything when it comes to that promotion or whatever, because we got to get these athletes to another platform. To close it out real quick, Sasha, put up this man's Instagram. This man's Instagram is actually very entertaining because this guy is extremely lovable. All right. Not only that Oz is there, I mean, this guy, Mandarin is second language. He's also a very, very fun dude. I mean, if you look at how pretty he is, it's crazy. Somebody from the FIBA page actually just said, oh my God, Steph Curry is on Shots Fired. So light-skinned brothers go a long way. I also want to give you this to, you said a lot of dimes today. Is there anything else that you would want to say to people, that helped you progress where you are today, and the other mantras that you've had in your mind that allowed you to grow and be the person that you are, that you want to share to everybody?
Yeah, I mean, two of them, honestly. One of them I actually have a tattoo of, and ironically enough, they've both been said by Kevin Durant, who was one of my favorite players growing up, right? And I think the first one, and again, this is the tattoo that I have, is hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard.
Boom!
Right. I think that's something that is, you're not always, and this is, irregardless of realm, right? It could be business, it could be training, whatever it is, right? You may not always be the most talented, you may not always have the most amount of funding, but if you're willing to work harder than anybody else, you're going to get the results that you want, right? And I think that's kind of just something that, again, it meant so much to me, and that's something that I live by day to day right now, that I just honestly put it on me forever, because it's a constant reminder for me when I wake up, like, look, regardless of where I am in my life, I'm always gonna have to outwork somebody. There's always somebody while I was asleep, just by nature of how the world is designed, there was somebody overseas working, you know what I mean? So it's like, that means I got to get up and I got to get back to it. And then it kind of segues into the second one, is like, in a world of social media, in a world of, quite frankly, excuses. nobody cares, go to work. And that's something that is, it's kind of like Mamba mentality-esque, where it's just like, look, you're going to have injuries, you're going to have bad days. You're going to have people who don't like you. You're going to have people who, you're going to have critics. You're going to have, champions. Whatever it is just kind of keeping that same line, right? Like staying very even keeled, never to be too high, never to be too low. Shout out to Jamal Carver for that one. But just stay in middle of the lane. I think that's something that if you're going to choose to go on whatever journey it is, whether it's in sports, whether it's in business, whether it's in family, parenting, whatever it is, you're always going to have ups and downs. You're always going to have peaks and valleys.
Yep.
And I think that it's realizing that you can't live in either one of them for too long, right? You got to get back to middle ground. Whether you climb Mount Everest, guess what? You got to come back to sea level.
Yep.
Whether you in the Mariana Trench, you got to get back to sea level. So that's just life, right? And I think that's kind of the thing that I take into business and life mainly. So again, OS is built on that. Infraway, shout out to Mac. Max Bekowski.
Max,
one of my good friends. That's anything that we do with, anything that we do with OS, anything that he does with Infraway or that I can be involved in. Like that's something a lot of the relationships that I have nowadays, they have in common. It's just making sure that, hey, look, we're going to do a lot of great things. We're going to help a lot of people, but we're never going to be up here and we're never going to be down here. Right?
Yep. And that's always, and again, we can talk about Dylan and everybody that you hang out with.
For sure.
This guy has the most tightest friendship network web I personally experienced, and I was just invited into it for just literally a glimpse, like a shooting star. But the amount of love and trust that I saw from that literally encompasses what you just said. Nobody cares, just get to work. And that's what all your friends do, people in your circle, and that's what makes who you are amazing. I am so blessed to call you not only a friend, a brother, and a confidant. I mean, I've called you at 3 o'clock in the morning about some stuff. Like, yo, I need a vent about something, bro. But all I pray is your success. Thank you so much for being part of this show. I mean, this is one of the best interviews I had. And without further ado, I always say to say your send off, to say your name, this is Shots Fired, you can get out of here.
All right. Well, again, I got to give you your flowers too, man, before I get into that. This is something that, for those who aren't familiar with our background, but way back in the day, like just getting it off the ground with you on here on Twitch, obviously you stuck with it and, you being able to have this and the opportunity to be on here and have this platform, FIBA, like I want to thank y'all for giving Vince this platform because quite frankly, this man deserves it. He grinds, he been staying. No, I'm saying like, kind of going back into like just life things. You just stick with it, right? You show up every day, whether it's your Instagram, your messages, people gravitate towards you for a particular reason. So I'm glad you have a platform internationally to be able to spread your message of positivity, and do it on a platform that you love, through a medium that you love, using sports and using basketball specifically, with FIBA to be yourself and continue to be yourself. So, obviously y'all already following Vince on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Vince Chang 21, if you already know what it is, Chang Dynasty every morning, check it out. At Chris Eversley for your boy.
Yes.
On Instagram at Overtime Solutions for those of y'all who are interested in that. And I guess now I can do this has been Shots Fired, Chris Eversley. Thank y'all for tuning in today and have a great rest of your day. Whether you're waking up, going to sleep, wherever you are in the world, have a great day. And nobody cares. Go to work.
That's a wrap. That's how you do a send up, Chris. Always a pleasure. Definitely be talking to you soon. Enjoy the rest of your day on the West Coast, and I'm going to continue with the show, man. But thank you again. I'll see you soon. All right, brother.
All right, cool. Y'all appreciate it. Be easy, y'all.
And tell Mama I love her. I love you, Mama.
She actually said so. Vince, I said hi, so she is here on my phone.
See you later, bro. Talk to you later.
Yep.
Woo! Man, oh man, like I said, we get some good guests, and that was one of the best. Chris Eversley, this man is an international phenom. When I say international phenom, international phenom. This dude is one of my best friends, and I'm so glad to get. But again, he has such more to give when it comes to the game of basketball, and he also allows us to show that, as you said it perfectly, nobody cares. Just get to work. Just get to work. And that's what we're going to talk about, the World Cup and stuff like that. I see people laughing over Germany is going to be the most hyped game. Turkey is almost there. And from America's, what's up? And people are there. Inspiring words. Yes, absolutely. All right. We're going to keep this show going on because, woo, this is insane. Okay, now, we still got about 3 more segments here at Shots Fired. Then we're going to get you guys out of here. It's a little longer show, but we're going to keep it going. But as you know, we're on Twitch. So when you're on Twitch, you got to talk about games. So this is NBA 2K on Shots Fired. Let's go. So this one was an interesting one. Just bring it up right now because there was a YouTuber that basically did something that I never thought of. NBA 2K YouTuber Med put LeBron James' career in reverse. That he started as a rookie in LA with Shaq and Kobe, then finished his career in the modern-day Cavs with Donovan Mitchell, which was actually quite interesting because in year 1, 2003, 2004, Kobe, Shaq, and LeBron won the championship. So he did a whole little, story with it. When Shaq left LA, Kobe and LeBron Lakers dropped and suffered back-to-back playoff eliminations in 2 years to 3. Then they reached the finals again in year 4 and won the overall championship. And at 23 years old, LeBron won 2 titles in LA with giving Kobe 5 overall, which is interesting. I just saw Shaq going to the Heat. Everything changed. And then also Tracy McGrady winning the MVP, one of the best players ever do it. One of my top players, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady. That's it. Now, here's another thing. Now, if he was on that LA team with Kobe Bryant as a shooting guard but small forward, he would have to go against Rick Fox and maybe he'd have to Gary Payton for space, and even Derek Fisher because he does play the point guard as well. But would quite be interesting if he did go with Kobe, if he would win that MVP. Now, let's just say in his final season in LA, it's all right there, he would win MVP and pick up another championship in 2007, 2008 with 3 titles overall, and Kobe would then have 6. Kobe and LeBron would be insane, but as you already know, the rivalry between Kobe and Shaq even said in an interview, as soon as Kobe won a championship, he won the championship. He just did not want Kobe to beat him. And rest in peace to Black Mamba. Now, in 2008, 2009, going to here, the LA go to Cleveland, and they won 2 MVPs this first season, and he suffered a playoff failure. Okay, so right now he has 2. And the first stint in Cleveland, in 4 seasons, LeBron leads the championship. Less with another in LA to give himself 7 titles of his career. So now Kobe's still going to be in the Lakers, and then LeBron is going to get out of here. But as you can see right here, he's still dominating on the Lakers, which is true. His knees are still going down. But as you can see, with LeBron being past thirds and stuff like that, he is still a force to be reckoned with, putting over $1 million in his body, and then also going against, KG, also Ray Allen, and of course, one of my favorite players, Paul Pierce, on that Celtic team. Now, which that interesting also goes to what if he was playing against those players at that time, which again, in that finals, it's a completely different kind of monster. I mean, Kobe, when he goes to playoff mode, is insane. But as you said, so now he goes to Cleveland, and then when he's at Cleveland, he does his thing, and he really shots up, but then goes against, you see the Boston Celtics, and we don't know exactly how that went out, but most likely he could have lost to them because I don't think he would have the team to mess with them. But he still goes in his heart to go to a different team, the Miami Heat, because Miami Heat played Cleveland, and see what happens there. So after that failure, what does he do? Boom, goes to the Heat for 2 seasons later, and then in real life. Nothing happened the first 2 seasons, because what happens? He met the Warriors in 2014, 2015 NBA Finals, and Golden State wins Game 7, because that's a stronger Steph Curry now. All right, 2015 Steph Curry is much different when he got in the league and stuff like that. So you basically get hit a little bit more. But the following season, they lose to the Warriors, and that's about it. LeBron's time in Miami finished it with 0 championships when he's Miami. 0, okay? Then he moves back to Cleveland and win his 4th championship in season 1 with Kyrie Irving and his first after Kobe. So he takes his loss in Miami. He has that bad taste in the mouth losing to Steph Curry, to Draymond Green and Klay Thompson. That right there, you just can't get out. Andre Iguodala probably wins MVP again, and he's done that before. So again, goes back to Cleveland, and also who's on his team? Kyrie Irving. But then going against Harden and the Rockets, which again, James Harden and the Rockets was insane. A lot more offensive player than we ever seen before. And the one thing about that is that he's just falling off. We all know about that. So, but he does win that championship, and the first one after Kobe. So now Kyrie's on Boston, chilling, leads following the 2 seasons, saw only playoff elimination in 2021 to 22, and then LeBron James won another championship, number 5 against the Clippers in his final season, 2022-23. LeBron and the Cavs play KD and the Suns, which would be quite interesting in the finals, probably winning another championship, but still going against the Pelicans, definitely staring down to everyone when it comes to that. I think that's when Brandon Ingram was on it, taking out different players. LeBron still being dominant, trying to show out that he can take Cleveland to another level. Because as you know, he made a promise that, he would have went back to LA, but then we went to Cleveland, the Cavs first. Then he leaves to go to Miami, comes back to the Cavs. He says, I'm going to bring home a championship. And now he's bringing him up to the championship with Donovan Mitchell. And now that's a whole different. Now, back to what you said, now he's playing, the Suns with Devin Booker and also Kevin Durant, which again would be insane. But they're saying when he's on Cleveland, he would win again with Donovan Mitchell, which is interesting. I would love to see that squad. Do you think Donovan would get in line and allow LeBron James to be the player he is? Because Donovan Mitchell to me is one of the most amazing players in the world. But again, at the end of the day, we would never know. It would have been such a gift to the basketball community if we could see Kobe Bryant and LeBron James playing the same team. That would be insane, because I would want to see who would be the alpha there, because that LeBron James was a point guard first, and he's learned to pass before score. And then having a killer like Kobe Bryant on your squad, you can always have that person to make the tough shot, and then also LeBron James would dish it out. Again, that'd be awesome. Broski, what's going on? All right, but yeah, that's the NBA 2K point of NBA 2K here on Shots Fired. Now, we're going to keep going, and we've been talking about the FIBA World Cup, and we got to get back to it, because again, we go into those side things, but here's the FIBA news of the FIBA World Cup, and I'm really excited for this one. So here, FIBA story on Shots Fired. Let's go. All right, just play it right now. Let's get right into it. As the World Cup keeps rolling and rolling and rolling, we have some interesting developments following the conclusion of the second round in the 17-32 classification games. Now, this is to do with the eliminated teams from the competition, because there were still plenty to play for. That's right. These games still matter, because these games were directly responsible for who's going to go to the Olympics next year. That is Paris 2024. In fact, these games were so important that a total of 5 teams clinched their direct berths to the Olympic Games as the best ranked teams in their respective continents. And those teams are, let's see, I don't know, Canada, USA claimed to be 2 direct tickets to the Olympics, and reserved also with Brazil, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, as you see right there. We're eliminated in the second round, but it was crazy because they're going to the finals because of that. Now, Australia became the first team to secure a place in Paris as the only team from the Oceania to advance from the first round. So you got Canada, USA, and Australia punching those tickets, which is crazy. And elsewhere, someone made history, and that was South Sudan, the first ever World Cup, but by qualifying for their first ever Olympic Games. That's up, Africa. Wakanda forever, Africa. Anyway, the thing about that is, with the co-host Japan qualifying, and then also some of the best teams doing what they have to do, they were the best teams in the respective Africa and Oceania in the classification game for 17-32. And also France, the host next to the Olympics, automatically qualified with all 8 final participants. But it also isn't crazy because also Spain is crazy, because some teams were qualifying tournaments. They're going to qualifying tournaments, which is Spain, Greece, and the Dominican Republic, who had a strong World Cup. These are some strong sides for them for sure. But other teams, Montenegro, Puerto Rico, Brazil, Georgia, Egypt, Finland, New Zealand, and also Lebanon. Then we had Philippines, and Mexico, and Angola, and Ivory Coast. They put that qualifying tournament, and this is going to be insane. There's some teams that will go to battle for the Olympic qualifications next summer, and this summer cannot come soon enough. And for one, I cannot wait. Now, with those teams also, with Iran, it was kind of weird, because who finished dead last was Jordan, who finished 31st, and the topic was Jordan with this guy right here, Rondé Hollis Jefferson, stealing the spotlight from Jordan, which was beautiful. He finished 0-5, but it was fun as heck to watch. This guy was balling like no other, the left-handed Kobe, a carbon copy of the Black Mamba, looked like him, been like him, and just showed that tenacity of not quitting. I mean, the number of moves that he did, social media loved it, gobbled it up, ate it as if they were a kid with a sweet tooth. It was beautiful, all right? And he went viral just in seconds. I mean, being from the Toronto Raptors, but put Jordan on his back, which again, what I love about the World Cup is that we see this talent. And again, he was balling. He was balling against some guys. I mean, right here against Greece. Greece ain't no pushover. And he was doing work on him, having his way. I mean, it is a team sport. He couldn't do it all. I mean, even Kobe couldn't do it all. But he definitely showed that he was a formidable opponent on every single level when it comes here. Just joined nearly 2 where I live. Oh, what's up? Oh, that's crazy. FIBA showing NBA 2K. Yeah, that's crazy. But anyway, so what the thing about me is that when it came, about Hollis Jefferson, is that, again, it exposed this other kind of fight from other countries that, you know, most people will never get to see unless you watch the World Cup. And it was just amazing to watch. I mean, not having the best record, but showing it out, cool. But I got to give the South Sudan qualifying. Shout out to y'all. Let's see here. Just joined. Okay, cool. South Sudan, magic. Indeed. It was magic. And I can't say anything bad about South Sudan. And with that being said, this is going to be a great transition because this is one of my favorite segments on Shots Fired. It's the Worldwide Court. And I'm pretty sure you know what country we're going to talk about. Anyway, this is Worldwide Court and Shots Fired. Let's check it out. All right, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Here's the thing. We are going to where? South Sudan. Bring up the video right now. No matter who wins the FIBA Basketball World Cup, there's one team that will be forever remembered, okay? And that team will continue to write their story and give their remarkable efforts at the competition. And that team, to most people in their heart, is number one. Canada's dope, but right here, it's South Sudan, all right? After starting their first ever World Cup with the loss to Puerto Rico, South Sudan earned their first World Cup victory against China, 89-69. Very convincing win by 20 points. Now, a loss to Serbia, now as the semifinals in the competition, then followed, which was kind of a heartbeat. And then, which saw the nation eliminated in the group stages, which is a whatever. But South Sudan's story wasn't over there yet. No, because as they entered the 17 30-second classification rounds to determine the ranking of the eliminated teams, they were the only one that went and dominated the co-host Philippines 87-68. Because this man right here, Carlik Jones, that was just one rebound away from the first ever triple-double. All right, and then they went and destroyed Angola 101-78. Subsequently, South Sudan finished the World Cup with a 3-2 record, and then was the first ever nation to birth, the first ever time they birthed an Olympic play, which is great. I mean, they're the lowest ever. And also this man right here, you know, Luol Deng took over the program and also came with this coach, also right here, that was Royal Ivy, in which they basically pushed more for the South Sudan heritage. I mean, since like the 1950s, there's been a sense of civil wars in Sudan and South Sudan, which led to became, you know, independent in 2011. And what these two players want to do was change that. All right, now wars displaced millions, including players on the team that they just qualified for the Olympics. I mean, look at this guy right here. Wenin Gabriel was born in Sudan and his family fled to Egypt when he was just 2 weeks old, and then later he moved to Manchester, New Hampshire. I always hear Manchester, New Hampshire. One of the sanctuary cities that took in many of his teammates, which again, when you got some of these countries, you know, we have it good. I live in America. We have it good. But then another player that's Nuni Omat was born in Sudan, in the Sudanese refugee camp in Kenya before moving to Minnesota. And then Amat played in the NBA G League last season. And the 7'2", 16-year-old, another guy who's also was a refugee, was again crazy. Kamen Malaloch, and I always pronounce it Malaloch, you know, was a refugee living in Uganda and has been developing at the NBA Academy Africa in Senegal. And he's been developing his game every single day. Now, the young big man has regarded as a prospect as in the draft for 2025. So look in 2025, he may be the next, you know, next big thing. And then also with that, I mean, Mario Shaq, you know, used to play for the Philadelphia 76ers, and Carlik Jones, who we mentioned earlier. I mean, He was born in Cincinnati and Sunni's parents, played for Chicago Bulls, and he was also the NBA G League MVP last year. And the South Sudan program, players themselves had remarkable stories. I mean, it's truly amazing to watch their success unfold in the World Cup, but a huge congratulations to everyone involved. And we will see you in Paris for sure in the Olympics. I mean, again, shout out to Coach Royal Ivy doing his thing, and also to, Lil Deng, NBA All-Stars and NBA players taking this country, putting it on their back, saying, look, we're going to do something different, and we're going to put this country on the map. Shout out to PT Creative. I see you there on Twitch. Thank you so much. Canada, yep. 32 teams, 4 tournaments. Only winner each tournament will clinch the Olympics. Indeed. Right here. Hi, Tin Cuevas Parma. I appreciate you coming through. Iman. All right. Whew. That's live information. Shout out to Chris Eversley. Shout out to also Destiny Gardner, aka Miss Farm Hoops. Also, shout out to South Sudan. I'm gonna keep shouting them out. But right now, we're at the quarterfinals of the World Cup. All right, we got Germany, we got Serbia, we got Canada, we got USA. I know everyone wants to see that USA-Canada matchup, but you never know. Serbia is not a team for you to sleep on, and Germany has proven that they belong at the World Cup. So who knows? You got to tune in. Follow Courtside 1891 and download it. You could pay $20 and get this pass to watch all the games basically for $20 on the app. So Courtside 1891. Download the FIBA World Cup app to find out all the times they're going to play and everything like that. And also follow FIBA everywhere. I mean, this is Shots Fired with your man, Vince Chang, again, Energy. Thanks so much, you guys, tuning in. TikTok, we're getting our numbers up. Thank you guys so much for being in the chat. Twitch, we're always there. Thank you so much. And then, my YouTube people, now we're starting to steadily get up past 10 people, get 40 people, 50 people, keep going up. Congratulations to South Sudan. Here on one of the FIBA posts there. The first FIBA game was 2017. 6 years later, they're at the World Cup. That is absolutely right, Elite. That's absolutely right. And also shout out to my boy Chris Eversley, just dropping dimes. And one of the biggest dimes, he says, hey, nobody cares, just get to work, okay? Nobody cares, just get to work, all right? That's dope. That's me. Hey, bro, what is your opinion about the last loss to the U.S. team? All right, I'll do this. This is what the whole point of the show is. Losing to Lithuania. I posted this on my Twitch, on my TikTok, right? And apparently I got like 5,000 views. I did. That's like the most views I ever got on a thing. It shows that a God can bleed. That's my opinion. We always talk about the dream team, the redeemed team, and how we have so many great players: Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, yada, 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 yada. That no country can mess with us. But you got to think about who was our MVP for the last couple of years? Non-American. We had Joker, then the process, okay? So you got from Serbia, then you got from Cameroon. Now, having a team like Lithuania beat us with what they had 3 NBA players on there, it shows that there's ballers outside of America. And with that being said, it shook them up. They took all their angry out on Italy. I know that. But you can't be lackadaisical when it comes to the game of basketball. Any night could be your night, especially when you take it. I'm a huge anime fan. Kuroko no Basketball. When you're in the zone, when Kagami's in the zone, but when you got everyone in the zone, everyone's making their shot, everyone's making their pass, everybody's making their plays, you can't stop them. So my opinion is that America needs to watch out. Going against Germany, it's going to be a problem. Going against Serbia will be a problem. The only thing that I'm saying that Canada's going to be a big problem because it's going to be like the NBA versus the NBA. The amount of talent that's on the USA team, of course, all the NBA players. There's 5 or 6 players that are playing the NBA on Canada, and you got Shea Gillis, SGA, you got Dylan Brooks, you got RJ Barrett, you got Jalen Brunson. You got ballers on this Canadian team. And when you got a pit bull, all right, a pit bull, like Dylan Brooks in your squad, you don't have to agree with him or not, you got to be careful because he can be a difference maker. He can be a disruptor to break your flow. So again, to answer your question, it just showed that the head household may have a crack in their glass. That perfect painting that you have, maybe a smudge there. And as I said, a God can bleed. So what I got to say to that is you got to watch out. Because if you don't take the World Cup, you got to win the Olympics. That's another thing. Here's the thing now. with all the social media and all the different platforms, if you don't take the World Cup, you gotta win the Olympics. Because then the crown is done. You're gone. You're gone. You're gone. Because that's another 4 years you gotta wait, homie. So that's my opinion. 7 years later, yep. So it's in the Olympics elite. So anyway, I hope I answered your question, Lechuka. But anyway, I see Greece and stuff like that. All y'all been amazing. Follow FIBA on all social media platforms. Shout out to my man Buckets Buenos, Sasha. I'm telling you, if I'm trying to be a Jedi, I'm his Padawan, and he's definitely, and if you guys want to follow Shots Fired, follow them right there on TikTok. Well, follow the FIBA World Cup there on TikTok. Follow, the page. Everybody follows the page on YouTube. But also follow them on Twitch. Follow me, Vince Chang 21 if you want. We'll be back next week, Friday. Okay? And that's going to be September 15th. And I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of updates because, World Cup is basically going to be done. Anyway, you guys have been awesome. My engineer has to go to sleep. I got a meeting, but that's right. And one's real quick. That's right, bro. And about participation teams of South America, Brazil, Dominican Republic, I think is part of South America as well. They have a shot. But the thing about that is South America's always had talent at certain AmeriCups and stuff like that, and Eurocups. No, AmeriCups. It's just now exposing it and then living up to their potential. That's my opinion. Brazil's on the uprise. I think Brazil's going to be the next top South American team. Mark my words. Today, shots fired. Watch out for Brazil. Chile, Argentina, Colombia. But if Dominican Republic is part of that South American crew, Dominican Republic also is going to be a problem. Okay? Because Puerto Rico's there too. But Brazil, I think, is going to be the top. So that's my opinion. But anyway, I'm about to get out of here. All y'all have been amazing. I got another meeting. We'll be back next week. So follow this. Follow me. DM me any questions. We can talk about all the time. But anyway, I've been your man, Vince Chang, aka The Energy. This is Shots Fired, Season 2, Episode 28. And we'll see you next week. Peace out. Welcome!